How y'all doing? So we are here for the December bonus signs. The whole idea, y'all, was that December's bonuses came from October's readings. Now, because I ended up doing an all signs instead of individual recordings, I had asked everybody if they wanted bonus readings in December to leave a comment on what sign they wanted to be. So Libra got the most. Libra got the most comments because I didn't say it couldn't be the same person. So good for you, 𝘗𝘗𝘐𝘕𝘌. Good for you. Libra won the bonus. So we're going to be doing Libra first, Scorpio and Aries tied for second. Y'all might say, Aries only got one. Bitch, I know my followers. And when one of them leaves her little black hearts, I know what sign she is. So Aries got some, Scorpio got some, and they tied. And then Virgo, Taurus, Pisces, and Sag tied for third. So those are the signs that are getting bonus readings. If I did not just call your sign and you are not a Libra, a Scorpio, an Aries, a Virgo, a Taurus, a Pisces, or a Sag, get on your fucking comment game. All is fair on YouTube channel Tarot. So I don't want to fucking hear that y'all didn't get your sign read and you're like, oh no, Grace, no, I wish my sign got a bonus. Well, you should have stepped up. You're on my naughty list. How about that? Everybody else on the good list is getting readings. So I will have timestamps in the comments and the description afterwards for y'all that want to fast forward to your signs. Now, I was guided to two different decks, and as I'm sitting here talking to y'all, I am shuffling them both together in one big deck. So we are doing the Wild Wood Tarot mixed with the Dark Wood Tarot. And this is what is going to give us our December bonus messages. Okay, Libra, because you did get the most, I am going to start with your reading, but I'm going to end your reading with pendulum yes or no questions. Okay, so while I'm doing your reading, think of 3 questions that you would like a yes or no answer to. Know which questions you have and what order you want them answered in. Okay, this will only work, obviously, the first time you catch the video, because once you know what answers are yes and what answers are no, it kind of defeats the purpose. Okay. So, as of right now, Libra, figure out what yes or no questions you have. If you're not a Libra, that's fine. You can ask your yes or no questions if you want to. Okay. But once I start pulling, you cannot change the order. Well, once I start using the pendulum, you cannot change the order of your questions. Okay. If for whatever reason, because I will strongly urge you to use your own discernment, if for whatever reason you have a yes or no question, it's like a should I or shouldn't I thing, and you are disappointed in the answer, that is your answer. You should do the opposite then, right? Because Spirit would never want you to be disappointed or unhappy. So if for whatever reason you're unsure, the answer comes out and you're like, oh, well, then you know your answer. You know what I mean? It doesn't fucking matter what the pendulum said. You know what I mean? Like, live your life according to your own discernment, not a fucking YouTube pendulum. You know, it's for your discernment. So with that said, Libra, let's get into your bonus reading. All right. Spirit, please. Bonus energy for Libra for December. What is going on with Libra for December? Okay. What else? I need two more. One more. One more. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands. Top of the deck is the Three of Cups. All right, Libra. We got the Six of Swords clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. The Hierophant clarified by the Ace of Wands. The Six of Pentacles clarified by the Two of Wands, and the Knight of Swords clarified by the Page of Cups. We have Hawk medicine, Otter medicine, Crane medicine, Swan medicine, and Deer medicine. All right, for animal synchronicities. With these cards, Libra. The top and bottom of the deck, you may be really inspired to move towards your joy and potentially burn something down in the process, especially with the world underneath of that. All right, you may be seriously considering closing out a cycle here in order to go after your joy. I think you're focused on joy, right? Hey, Sandy, how are you doing? Thanks. Yeah, King of Bows. I think you might be, and King of Vessels under that. I think you might be really, really inspired to communicate some truth and try and balance something out as far as pain goes. You may be trying to purge out some kind of pain. We've got the Three of Arrows, which is the Three of Swords, and someone lit the target, which is the heart on fire. Okay, let me get my focus board up here. Right. You may also be, for some of y'all, this won't apply to everybody, but for some of y'all, if you're dealing with a Libra, they might be trying to bring a third party in order to create jealousy and bring some kind of passion back into the relationship. On the DL, they might not even consciously realize that that's what they're doing, because they're trying to end something and seriously close it. They're trying to burn it down. The fire is behind the Knight of Wands and the World card is underneath it. So they're burning it down. They've got a master vision and a lot of emotion being communicated about maybe the kind of pain that they're in. Seeing something from a different perspective, trying to create balance. Your card is under that. The Woodward is Libra's card, the Justice card in this deck. At least in the Wildwood Tarot, right? Even if the jealousy is not the intention, I think it's definitely a byproduct. Okay, because the Three of Cups on top, there's definitely three different energies at play here. The issue I'm having with the energy is that even though there's like kings and stuff on the bottom of the deck, there's none actually out on the board. Like, we don't have any majors outside of the Hierophant. We have a Knight, and then we've got pages. Now, here's the thing with the Hierophant, right? Because the Hierophant's also Chiron. Chiron is a wounded healer, right? Sacrifices the self, ends up going through a whole bunch of fucking pain, but also heals a lot along the way. And there's something very, very clear with the Hierophant being about creed, right? A belief system. In this deck, it's the ancestor. And so it's a belief system that's been passed down through incarnations, right? It's a real, this is my belief, this is what I stand for, war drum type card, right? He's literally got like a little war drum there. Like, this is my soul song, right? This is my belief system. And it's coming out with the Ace of Bows. So the Hierophant may be trying to get someone to understand them and follow them, right? Trying to spark inspiration. We definitely have the Six of Arrows, which is the Six of Swords, clarified by the Eight of Stones. So this is moving forward from something that a lot of work was put into. It's a transition. They might be working on establishing a new belief system, to be fair. They might be stuck in a poverty mindset. We've got the Two of Wands clarified by the clarifying the Six of Pentacles. And the Six of Pentacles shows a kind of devilish or Krampus, to be fair, type figure. And someone is signing their soul away in order for him to give to the other. Think about that. The one figure, the one heart space, the one feminine energy is sitting before the figure signing the contract. And in return, he's giving coins to the other who has their hands out. And I feel like I can't help but feel like someone was duped. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever watched Once Upon a Time, and Regina is the Queen of Hearts, right? And, or the Evil Queen, right? She's the Evil Queen from Snow White, Regina. And she can control people's actions and their words when she holds their heart space. And the way the witch looks, right? The way she's holding that crystal ball. It's almost like dark magic. It almost reminds me of dark magic, right? That would have the figure here assign their soul for the other to receive. Like someone commanded it. And it might be from lifetimes ago, right? With the ancestor there, the Hierophant there, the Ace of Bows is the Ace of Wands. It is magic. I'm getting a lot of different energy off of these cards. Someone may have seriously invested a lot in something, and they might be waking up to this idea that what they believe so wholeheartedly that they're locked on it, right? That they're locked on it. Feel obligated to it. I have to, right? I have to. It's a belief system. They believe that they have to. They're obligated to give, right? To give. And it might be because there was some kind of intention cast in a past lifetime that's still lingering. Some kind of vow that was made. Like a debt. It's a debt owed. Someone's trying to get the return on it, but that's just it. Like someone who signs their heart away to someone else and they receive money, right? They receive money because this love was given, right? This love was given, and so this money is pouring out of whoever this is. And it's because there was some kind of spell cast, right? So I don't really get into readings like this. And then they're wondering like why they're not getting the return on it. And it's because it was a deal with the devil type thing, right? It was a dark shadow wounding, right? Chiron wounding that the vow was created in the first place, because it doesn't have to be like someone sitting in a room with candles and blood and whatever the fuck, people think that dark magic is. Dark magic is a vow of words that come from a wounded place. Okay, that's what black magic is. It's a vow that comes from a wounded place. Like if someone wanted to feel like someone would never leave them and they wanted to feel needed, like they would vow to always take care of them so long as they never left, right? I promise I'll always take care of you so long as you don't leave me. Just don't leave me, right? And they vow to take care of somebody. And so that vow is continuing because they still feel like they're trying to get the return, right? When we do something from a place of need or a place of lack, it's because in essence, we want the fill up, we want the reciprocity, but this was a one-way deal. They wanted to be loved in return, but that person didn't sign a contract to love in return. That person was just on the receiving end. Someone needs to communicate an apology. Right, the hawk and the otter with the Knight of Arrows and the Page of Vessels. Someone's probably been watching, because of the hawk, I feel like they're watching like a hawk. I feel like someone's watching. And that person who's watching probably needs to offer the apology. Because they don't understand why they're not receiving love from someone else who's probably meant to give them love. But at the same time, it's like they're still locked in this contract, this dark contract. It probably has to do with jealousy. Right, that Three of Swords, like mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all, right? That Snow White, evil queen, someone who was jealous, wanted to prove that they were better, prove that they're more attractive. Someone might be in a cycle of having to prove that they're in love with someone or prove that they're attracted to someone, and they're probably pouring out financially, and it's not good enough because this person's wounded. they don't feel beautiful in their own energy. There's nothing someone else could do in order to make them feel beautiful or less secure, especially if they're competing with someone else. And it's not even about what the person's giving. It's the fact that they're jealous of someone else who they feel is better than them or prettier than them in their own insecurity. And there's nothing that anybody could do to fix that. You could be the most beautiful woman or the most handsome man in the whole fucking world, but if they don't believe it, there's nothing you could do to make them believe it. You can't stay with them long enough or suffer for them long enough or hard enough to convince them that they're more beautiful than everybody else, especially if a part of them is dark and gets off on the fact that you're suffering for them, right? Especially if they know the debt's already paid and you don't, right? Or someone else doesn't. Mind your Chiron placements and where they are with people and what's aspecting them. If you don't know your birth charts, like, God bless y'all. You try and deal with people being blind and ignorant to that shit, like for real. If I don't know your birth chart, we ain't getting that close. For real. All right, let's get one more energy read for Libra, since Libra did get the most votes. Let's get one more, and then I will do the pendulum yes or no's. Okay, so if you have not got your questions ready yet, Libra, write them down, put them in order so that you know which answers which, and a reminder to use your discernment. Okay. Give me one more, Spirit, please. One more reading for Libra. Give me one more reading for Libra, please. What else? What other message would come through for Libra? What other message would come through for Libra? Two of Cups, the Tower, Page of Wands, King of Swords, Eight of Swords, Eight of Stones, it's the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Bows, more, lots of eights. Give me one more. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles. The mirrors on the bottom. The Hanged Man in the Wildwood Tarot is the mirror. Four of Swords is on top. Look at the bottom of this deck. She's literally holding a mirror and watching someone be laid to rest, right? It's like an old Vikings funeral where they send you off in a boat before they light it on fire type thing. But it's having a hard time letting it go because it's anchored. It's actually got a chain on it. So Libra, you may really be having a hard time letting someone go, or believing that it's dead, or accepting that it's dead in the water. Now the crane on the card has a medicine pouch around their neck. So we've got crane medicine. We've also got black horse energy, fox, kingfisher, and the stoat. STOAT. Those are the animal synchronicities. Bats. Bats have that echolocation where they can see and sense in the dark. So you may be dealing with, especially because the Hanged Man is the mirror, I think you might be dealing with telepathic communication. We have the moon out here too. If you have a counterpart that you're in separation from, there's telepathic communication going on between the two of you. And I think you're trying to, especially in dream state, with the Four of Swords being here. And the heart space is sleeping with the fourth sword. She's sleeping, but she's holding the sword right here. Libra. This message is not that unsimilar, but it's more focused on what is actually going on inside your world. The Three of Wands underneath the mirror. You have a vampiric energy in your midst. The Three of Wands depicts a vampiric feminine. She's got like the blood coming down from her mouth, and there's the masculine lying on the floor, drained of his life force energy. The Ten of Pentacles is under that, so it's within the home space. The King of Bows is the adder snake, and there's the two snakes at each other. Hey Victoria, how you doing? And the Devil under that. I think that the Ten of Cups is actually really toxic. It may have been a vision, a high vision at one point, but then the World card came out. I feel like whatever this is, someone, a toxic karmic, right? A toxic soulmate, toxic flame, false flame, right? The dark mirror. That's a dark mirror. And they're intuiting, right, with this mirror card. They're holding the moon and they're holding the mirror to chest, and something has been laid to rest, but they can't let it go. And there's still some kind of communication telepathically going on between the two. Yeah, the Two of Cups with the Eight of Bows. The Eight of Bows, the Eight of Wands is communication from spirit, typically. It's high speed communication, it's lightning, right? It's telepathic, it's downloads, and I think it's coming from a soulmate. The Black Horse, right? Maybe both of y'all are like the Black Horse. Everybody would bet against you, you know what I mean? And maybe you've gotten yourself into a situation, or someone got themselves into a situation where they're trying to prove that, you know, they're capable of being like everybody else, but they're not like everybody else, or the Dark Horse. You know, no one expected them to succeed, and maybe they went down this, you know, Ten of Cups, Four of Wands, happily ever after vision that's not their vision. Like, they've got the Tower with the Five of Vessels. Like, this is not bliss. This is a reality check. Like, you're fucking miserable. Someone is. I think you've been manifesting or wanting to manifest ecstasy, right? Wanting to manifest bliss, wanting to manifest the Two of Cups, right? Because the Five of Cups typically shows 3 cups spilled with 2 cups left standing. I think you're in this telepathic communication with a soulmate that you actually want to be with, but you're locked in some kind of cycle with a vampiric energy. You've got to reinvent yourself and be sovereign, right? The Page of Wands, the Page of Bows with the Nine of Coins. You've got to be sovereign and get out of whoever's energy you're in. King of Swords, Knight of Bows. You've got to start seeing things from a higher perspective, like why the divine would put you in such a situation. And it is to inspire you to be better, right? Because you're locked in this Eight of Swords struggle, right? The mental prison in the Hermit's energy. You're locked in your dark places and you're on this search to find light in there. And the fact of the matter is, you've got to actually make an effort towards what you're intuiting, right? Healing your childhood wounds. I think you've got to make an effort out of whatever it is you're stuck in. You got to reclaim your sovereignty. You have too many other people's energies on you. And that might not just be like around you, literally. Like you might have too many karmic cords, hooks in your energy field where like wounds from other people attach to you. And you are living in their energetic state because you maybe believed what they said or were inspired by what they said, or they taught you something at a younger age when you were still impressionable, right? Which typically is up to the age of 25. So people who give you advice, life advice, and you take it to heart, or it becomes a creed, right? A belief system of yours. You might have to unlearn things. We just had this conversation in the Weekly Duality Report with my Divine Rebel members. You might have to unlearn things. Just because they were taught to you with good intention doesn't mean it was good advice. Yeah, I think you have to just kind of go clear your head somewhere. Like maybe you need to go for a walk in the woods and just kind of be close to nature. Like place your hands on the trees and get in touch with natural energy. Be away from other people so that you can think clear and intuit clear. All right, Libra, let me pull you an advice card. This is my white light oracle. All right, 𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗 pull Libra guidance card. We all have Libra in our chart, so if you've got significant placements in Libra, or you've got a house, you know, whatever house is ruled by Libra, take it as it resonates. Leave it if it don't force things to fit. But what's the guidance, Spirit? 𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗. I shit you not, I saw the word 𝘗 on a fucking license plate, 922, where the number is after it. And I was just like, wow, talk about, you know, like number synchronicities, right? 9 is closing cycles. Co-creation is card number 22. This is card number 22. And it's 𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗. I love this fucking card. I did a whole video on this card, 𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗. Such a pretty card. So let me read this for you so you understand what this is. Okay. 𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗𝘗. It says, a way through the struggle has already been created for you, and you are being led onto that path. Your authentic soul path may include recognition and acclaim, notable success and admiration. Be grateful, but do not be dazzled or distracted by such experiences. Focus on what connects you to your heart and grounds you in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace. This will allow for successful progress in the material world without disturbing the sanctity of your soul. Right? When we focus on what connects us to our heart and grounds us in the simplicity of spiritual truth, which is the practice of love, kindness, and peace, it is for the self. It's not practicing love, kindness, and peace to others. Focus on what connects you to your heart. The spiritual truth is practicing love, kindness, and peace for yourself. People in your outer experience either create that feeling or they diminish it. And your allowance of it is what yields the reality that you're in. Right? It says, in the mysticism of the Kabbalah, 𝘗𝘗𝘕𝘌 is the first and truest light. It emerges from the absolute, which is pure emptiness beyond all characteristics, phenomena, and form. The capacity to create something from apparently nothing is one of the definitions of magic. 𝘗𝘗𝘕𝘌 is the universe pulling rabbits out of hats on a cosmic scale. Because the spiritual light emerges from the spaciousness of infinite potentiality, it is imbued with endless creativity, resourcefulness, and spontaneous responsiveness. Whatever is needed is made manifest, provided to the receptive heart, and will benefit all beings. In other words, if you want something, you must be willing to believe that you can create something from nothing. That even if you can't see the way, that the way will be revealed because you will it to. And that you are willing to take actions in accordance with the guidance that you get after and placing the intention in order to receive it. Right? That if you can hold the vision here and take guided action in accordance with the visualization of that vision, that you can actually watch it manifest, right? Receptivity is the key to unlocking this white light magic of the spirit. When we are open to it, surrendered to its wisdom, and willing to place that wisdom above our own opinions, we are capable of receiving and benefiting from it. If we are trying to dictate its course, to contrive and control it to meet our needs as we think they should be met, then we are not being receptive. The path of control and dominance is regressive. It is not sacred magic, and it is not of the spirit. 𝘗𝘗𝘕𝘌 illuminates the ways of sacred soul magic that create healing and deep fulfillment. It recognizes there is a problem, yet does not dwell on it, nor evoke toxic mind games of blame or shame. It focuses on solutions. Underneath fancy words, outlandish claims, and complex doctrines, the light of spirit is recognized by its effect. Genuine spiritual connection helps us outgrow our problems. Ego will tell you a situation is too complicated or someone else is to blame. Or if you could just change this one thing, healing could happen. But when you are in ego, you are not spiritually effective, and you will be locked in suffering and confusion. As a human being, you are able to use your free will as you choose. You can focus on the negative and distance yourself from the light. Refuse to trust and insist you always know best. You can choose to feel unappreciated, betrayed, or afraid when life does its unpredictable dance. Spirit will love you and seek to help you, even when you use your free will in such a way. At any time, you can choose to say, enough of this misery, and open your heart to connect with the higher creative and higher intelligence of the light. No matter how much our wounded minds and broken hearts may believe a situation cannot be healed, 𝘗𝘗𝘕𝘌 is always there. It reminds us that whether we can see it or not, there is a spiritual path through all troubles. That path can be so beautiful, we will become profoundly grateful for the struggle which caused us to grow, even if we never wish to repeat the experience. Acknowledgement is the beginning of healing. If something isn't quite right, be kind and wise enough to yourself to admit it. Then seek out the genuine light, which will evoke peace in your heart. Have the courage to trust and let go of approaches that will not lead you anywhere worth going. As you open yourself to what is, even the unexpectedly difficult twists of fate, you will become ever closer to the radiant grace and luminosity of clarity, which is reassuring you, healing you, guiding you, and loving you. Connect consciously to your body and your breath, and bring yourself fully into this present moment. Imagine you can release all thoughts, fears, and obsessions about your problems or concerns, even if just for this exercise. You could imagine dusting them off your auric field as though you were dusting off little bits of spider web that had become stuck to you while walking along a garden path. You may like to play at such spiritual dusting through your energy field for a few moments now. It will increase your clarity of mind and the presence in your body. After you've dusted yourself off, take a deep breath, and when you're ready, say the following prayer out loud, or repeat after me in your mind as I say it. Okay. I call upon the pure light of wisdom, compassion, and divine love. I invite the genius of spiritual grace to enter into my heart and, with mercy, clear the path to the highest loving consciousness. I loosen my mental and emotional grip on fixed opinions and open with trust to the higher wisdom and creative path that will set my heart free. May all beings know such merciful grace and generous assistance for their greatest good. Now imagine, feel, intend, or visualize that you are resting in a beautiful field of light for as long as feels good for you, as your personal energy field has been cleared and sheltered through your practice thus far. You are now free and able to feel, sense or perceive the beautiful light which holds you tenderly in its spiritual embrace. And when you're ready, gently guide yourself back to this moment by following the flow of your breath in and out. Hydrate and ground yourself, and you've completed the healing process. Libra, whatever it is between these two readings, right? Because we talked about feeling bound. We talked about a vow. We talked about our creed and belief system that we go by, right? This fixed opinion that really does need to shift. And if you're locked in a sufferable cycle with people who are bringing pain into your experience, and you really do have to let them go and not judge yourself for letting it go, and knowing that all will work out in the highest good when you let it go, because it's no one's highest good if it's not in yours. We're all connected. If it's not in your highest good and it feels like shit, then it's not in anybody's highest good, and it's going to feel like shit for everybody. It's going to ripple. It's going to continue to ripple through generations. That's what ancestral karma is. So you have to break it, right? Allow yourself to create light where there was once nothing. If you need to communicate or you owe apology in some which way, shape, or form, then please do that. Okay? Then please do that. Free yourself and all others from the pain that you find yourselves stuck in. Okay? Really, I just cut the deck to pick it up, and I cut it to the Justice card. It's about you, Libra. This is about you. Okay. I'm going to shuffle these real quick, and then we're going to do your pendulum. So if you haven't got your questions ready yet, I'm going to do 3 questions, Libra. Yes or no questions with the pendulum for you. Have your 3 questions. Know what order you are setting them in. Once I start answering the questions, you cannot change your questions. You cannot change your order. Use your discernment. For whatever reason, the pendulum says yes, and you are disappointed and wished it was no, well, then that is your answer, okay? Go with no. Follow your own discernment. These pendulum questions and answers are simply to get you clear on where your energy actually is and what to move forward to. If the answer is yes, and you get excited, great. That was your answer, right? Your physical energy responded in a positive way. So use your discernment. All right. So Libra or not, here we come. Let's get my Archangel Raphael pendulum out for you. Archangel Raphael, I call you in as the only voice of this pendulum at this time for those who need it. And I ask for answers only in their highest good. Show me a clear back and forth for a yes. Thank you. Stop. Show me a clear left to right for no. Thank you. Stop. Show me a clockwise circle if they already know the answer. Thank you. Stop. Show me a counterclockwise circle if they need to rephrase their question. Stop. Thank you. Archangel Raphael. Questions are locked now, okay? Archangel Raphael, what is the answer to the question number 1 that they are holding in their minds? The answer is yes. Stop. Archangel Raphael, what is the answer to question number 2 that they are holding in their minds? Yes. Stop. Archangel Raphael, what is the answer to question number 3 that they are holding in their minds? No. Stop. Someone had a 4th question. They couldn't decide if they should write it down or not, and they threw it out. Archangel Raphael is acknowledging it. What is the answer to the 4th question that was thrown out? Yes. All right, stop. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Archangel Raphael. On the highest, thank you for your presence. For you, we are eternally grateful. All right. So, Libra, I hope those answer your questions. And we are going to move on to Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what is going on with your bonus energy for December. What message would you like to come through for Scorpio spirit at this time? What message would you like to come through for our Scorpio family at this time? Okay, one more shuffle. All right, Spirit, what's going on with Scorpio? You're most welcome, 𝘗𝘗𝘕𝘌. What is going on with Scorpio, please? Bonus energy for December. Clarities. Give me one more row of clarifying cards for each of these, please. Let's get deeper for Scorp. Alrighty. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Stones. This is the Ace of Pentacles. And then we've got the Two of Bows, which is the Two of Wands on top. Scorpio, I think you need to make a decision. I think your heart is sensing the truth in something. And you might feel like it's a riddle. But it's a healing that you have to kind of find your strength in order to act on. And you might be super cautious because of abandonment or the loss of everything in the past, especially with an Empress energy. But there's something going on that's giving you a chance to acclimate with someone who is extremely nurturing, someone who's emotionally intelligent. Someone who is emotionally intelligent can read your wounds and intentionally not set off your triggers, right? Someone who can read your emotions, feel you intuitively, and know what you need in order to be loved back into good spiritual health, especially if your heart's been hurt. And like, I could be talking about you, I could be talking about someone in your reality, but I've got double queens and an Empress here, so I'm pretty sure I'm talking about a feminine. So this might be real specific if you are Scorpio masculine. It's something you manifested because your soul wants to heal. It's just a matter of whether or not you'll allow your intuition to guide you to the healing, as opposed to letting your ego getting in the way and shutting it out, right? But you manifested the opportunity to heal. It's just a matter of whether or not you take it. Now with the cards here, I definitely feel like there's definitely an entanglement, okay? I feel like what's positive for you might be a challenge for someone else and vice versa. I feel like there might be a conscious suppression of sexual energy. That the intimacy, the physical intimacy, might actually be somewhat of like a nightmare. Like knowing that the physical act of being intimate with someone brings up a whole lot of anxiety. Maybe you don't want to get emotionally attached. Maybe you're afraid that if you do get emotionally attached that they won't, or that they will and you don't want to, right? There might be some real anxiety around letting yourself feel passionate. And I think that you have these kind of shadows, these like demons haunting you from the past. And I think there's a conscious suppression of physical intimacy. I think you've communicated it too. I think you're really clear because we have the Knight of Swords with the Seven of Vessels, which is the Seven of Cups reverse, and the Nine of Bows. I think you've been really clear and communicated clearly that you've been wounded. And that it might have left you a little crazy, you know, or that you still are recovering from it. That's clear. And now you have this Three of Cups, Three of Bows, Emperor energy here. Yeah, I think the karmic relationships from your past are like literally sending like negative juju at you. Like even if you weren't in the wrong in the relationships that have ended, I think that they're bitter. And I think that they're literally sending negative energy your way, because I'm looking at these cats and the black shadows that are coming off of them. And the black shadows that are finding you here, like haunting you here in the reflection of the Two of Swords. And that's where that physical intimacy is being held up, right? The Nine of Swords with the King of Wands and the Two of Swords. That's where I was pulling that energy. I feel like you have karmic people from your past that are literally sending you hate. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to find somebody. They don't want you to heal. They don't want you to find the Queen of Cups type energy, the Empress type energy, that empathic, I've got your soul medicine type energy. They don't want you to receive it. They want you to block it out. They want you to stay wounded. And now you're at this crossroads. Now you're at this crossroads where you're trying to have this Kundalini awakening type energy to this path to fulfillment, right? The Three of Wands is this path to fulfillment. The Caduceus type energy, right? With the entwined snakes on the cloak, like there's this healing that you're in front of. You're at the choice point, right? And you've got to be in your high masculine emperor energy in order to choose it. Universe might be getting tricky and forcing your hand. I've got the Ten of Pentacles with the Ace of Arrows in the reverse and the World card. So if you're in a living situation and you're already intuitively picking up on the fact that there's some kind of truth being suppressed or kept from you, something might be closing out with the World card. The 10 is complete. The Ace is another one, and that new beginning is being hidden, right? It's in the reverse. It's being hidden. And the World card is there. So you might already be sensing that something is coming to a close, even if there's no evidence of it. It's because your soul wants to heal. Like I said, you manifested something. You prayed for something at some point, and the universe is answering it right now. And the universe doesn't give a shit that you may or may not be healed or ready for it. Like, the universe is giving it to you now. So either you're going to step up and do the healing in order to receive it, or you're not, right? And that is up to you. Like the universe said, you put out a prayer, I answered. If you don't want to take the prayer, that's fine. But don't pray for shit you're not going to willingly receive, right? I'm not sitting here, you know, like, well, Scorpio wished for this, but now I got to wait for them to, you know, want to receive it. Spirit's like, it's here. You know what I mean? Like, it's here now. Do you want it or not? Yeah, I think if you had prayed at some point for someone who would understand you, for someone who could accept your wounds and not hurt you in the same way, right? If you wanted that emotionally intelligent, deep person, that Empress person, I think that you've found them. I think that they're in your reality already. I think you've already talked to this person. I think you have serious fears about physical intimacy that are being addressed. I think you've communicated that you've been hurt before. And I think you have some serious karmic energy in the background wishing ill at you. And you're definitely being triggered into those memories and not necessarily wanting to jump, like you're stopping yourself. And then there's some other situation out here that might be ending, or at least changing. And you might not be seeing how it's ending or changing. I think that's hidden from you. I think ultimately there's a solution to the issue, right? If there is something ending, I think you have a solution to it. And I think that a part of you, even though you know you should accept it, is nervous to accept it. Like, Spirit is kind of propelling you forward or pushing you forward. And it's wildly uncomfortable, right? Hey, Lala, how are you? Thanks. So yeah, Scorp, I feel like something's changing for your highest good. I don't think you're receiving it that way. And I think you're still dealing with what is essentially a lot of psychic attack from past relationships. And I don't even think you realize it's a psychic attack. Like, I don't think you're calling it for what it is. Like, if you're nervous about being intimate with someone else or something like that, or you're nervous about moving towards somebody who actually, you know, seems like a really good idea, it feels like a really good idea, there's something that draws you to it, you know what I mean? Something that intrigues you about it. I feel like that Spirit's pulling you in a certain direction that feels good, right? And that's why you're being guided towards it. But every single time you're like, nah, like, nah, I don't know if I want to go there. Nah, I don't know if I want to get involved. Nah, I think I'm good the way I am. Like, that's literally the fears from your past people. Infringing on your psychic space and keeping you from moving towards something that would actually really be really good for you. I think whatever your past is, Scorpio, you really have to let it go. I don't think your happiness is there. I think your happiness is elsewhere. And to be fair, if we're going to talk about trusting your intuition, if no matter how many times something comes up in your head and you want something, if you're consistently like, no, I'm not actually really feeling it, because feeling it, like really feeling it, and kind of feeling it but not, are two different things. So you may have talked to someone, communicated with someone, and you were really feeling them but not like really feeling them. And that's a sign too, they're not your person, right? So I think that Spirit is kind of testing you to see if you're open, and also testing you simultaneously to see if you're on point with yourself, that you're acknowledging that something or someone just isn't quite right, and it's not your woundings taking control of the decision, right? Can you discern between your woundings controlling a decision and just not being guided to something, and that is why you're making the decision, right? Because the decision might be the same. No is no. And it's not in your highest good, so that's why the answer is no. But Spirit wants to make sure that if you were truly feeling something and guided in a certain direction, would you allow it, right? Would you allow yourself to receive it? Or would your past karmic wounds get in the way? Because if your past karmic wounds are going to get in the way and you can't distinguish that discernment, it's not going to give you the actual healing medicine you need, because you haven't allowed yourself to discern yet, right? It has nothing to do with your past people and being wounded. It has everything to do with whether or not you truly resonate with someone. Can you take your past experiences out of it and stop making them an excuse for why you are not in a relationship, kind of thing? Right? You're not in a relationship because your exes were fucked up and blah, blah, blah. You know, you're not in a relationship because you haven't been guided to be in one. No, I'm not going into a relationship. Fuck that. Da, 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 da. You know, I've been hurt before. Okay. Like a lot of us have, to be fair. You know, we've all been there. But when you're really feeling something, you go for it, right? So Spirit's asking you to check your discernment, right? Check your discernment, because I feel like you might have someone in your experience that you feel, but you're not like really feeling it. And so Spirit wants you to take the excuse of your past being the excuse. It has nothing to do with your past, right? The truth is you're just not really feeling them like that. Even if you're feeling them a little bit, like it's just not like that. And that's fine, right? You don't need any more excuse or justification as to why you're not moving forward with somebody, right? If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a fuck no. So don't, blame it on something else. Just accept it for what it is. And you're not truly interested in that person like that. And that's okay, right? Take your past out of it. Don't let your past control you like that, because that's what those past karmic energies are trying to do. They're trying to control you, and you kind of need to put them in their fucking place, right? Like, no, if I'm in a relationship, it's because I want to be in a relationship. And if I'm not, it's because I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. You know what I mean? Because when we feel it, period. I'm a Scorpio Venus. When we fucking feel it, we feel it. And if it's off, period. Has nothing to do with the past, has nothing to do with pain, has nothing to do with anything other than I'm not really feeling you like that. I like you. I feel you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I could see where we could get along, but if I'm not feeling it, well, I'm not going to blame, my past pain on why I'm not fucking with you. You know what I mean? Like, you're either in or you're not. And that's that. So, Scorpio, I hope that made sense for you as far as additional messages for February. Now we're going to get into Aries. Aries energy. Then I've got Virgo, Taurus, Pisces, and Sag. All right, we already did Libra. So Spirit, please. What is going on with Aries energy, the house that Aries rules for December? What additional messages would you have come through for our Aries gang? What is going on with Aries for December? I'm going to do 2 more pulls. What is going on with Aries for December. All right. Eight of Wands. King of Wands reverse. King of Swords. The Lovers. Give me two more clarifying cards, please. Ooh. All right, let's go a layer deeper with that one. That seems intense. Give me more clarities, please. Give me four more cards. For Aries. All right. Seven of Wands is on the bottom. The World is on top. Aries, take it how it resonates. Roles could be reversed. My initial thing looking at these cards is some kind of divorce or a separation from a certain mirror, right? If it's not like an actual relationship split. For most of you, it is. I've got a King and Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is upside down in reverse. I think that someone has lost complete visualization of any potential happy outcome with someone. I think they're grieving the loss of someone else. I think they're hoping to reconnect with someone else. And I think that whoever they tied themselves to, they're feeling rather stuck with them. I think honest to God, someone feels like someone else is a lazy piece of shit. If I'm going to be real Sag honest, someone is looking at someone else like they're a fucking lazy piece of shit, like they're sleeping on the fucking job and they're having everybody else do their work. It's like someone needs to do it and no one, and they're just not doing it. They're like, oh, sorry, I was over here busy. Like, but there's a job to do, you know what I mean? Like there's requirements, you know what I mean? Like there's certain things that need to get done. You can't just not be there. Like someone needs to cut the wood and the axe is sitting there waiting. The wood is sitting there waiting. The fire's roaring like it's going to burn out. We need more wood for the night. You know what I mean? And it's like someone's just sleeping. They're just sleeping. It's like they're putting on a show. Like the scarecrow is up looking like they're doing shit, but they're not. I think someone's putting on a facade. Like they're doing so much and they're not doing fucking anything. I think someone else is seeing right through it. I think that whoever this dynamic ship is, and it doesn't have to be romantic, right? For a lot of you, it's going to be. but someone is involved with someone else, and originally there might have been like a really beautiful vision of something working out really well. This is what I'm going to do. This is what you're going to do. It's going to be great. We're going to manifest this kind of life. We're going to manifest this path. It's going to be great. And then someone did not fucking show up and do their part. Someone is not doing their part. I think there's a karmic lesson being learned. I think whoever the King of Wands reverse is missing, they're also being called in by such a person. I think there's a divine reconnect that's imminent at some point, but it's based off of whether or not this karmic situation ends, though. I feel like whoever the fiery masculine energy is, right, regardless of gender, Aries, it could be you, right? You feel fucking betrayed by the person who promised you they were going to do all of this stuff and make this beautiful life. And you're just like, so where the fuck are you then? Like, what happened to the plan? What happened to you, like, showing up and being a partner? I think Aries is dealing with someone who is like having a child more than having a partner, right? The child is easily distracted and wants to go do this and that, and they're not, you know, being responsible. Like, there's a time for play and there's a time for adulting. And somebody came into it ready to be an adult with someone, ready to be partners with someone, like, you and me in this together, we're going to make it happen. And then their partner was all talk, no actions. And their actions are screaming so fucking loud right now that I feel like Aries is, the Aryan energy is off put. Like, they needed a co-leader. And now they're doing all of it. Strong scorpionic energy is at play, so there may be scorpionic squares, especially if you were born in the Pluto Scorpio generation. You might be dealing with certain Pluto squares that's causing an issue. You may be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, heavy on the Gemini. We've got the Seven of Wands out here twice. You need to really stand up for yourself and defend yourself, especially if it's inside the home, and move forward. Seven of Wands with the 10 of Stones and the 8 of Cups under that. Because the longer you stay in the situation, whatever it is, it's going to continue to wound you. You're just going to be a victim. You're just going to be the victim. You need to respect yourself and let yourself separate and start to heal. If it's not producing the results that you want, then you can't hold on to it. You've got to let it go. You've got to open up some kind of Ace of Cups, right, to the Queen of Cups, the Moon, the person that you're getting these pings about, right, these 8 of Wands pings about. I think you might be dealing with wild insecurities surrounding this person, not knowing if you're going to hit the mark or not, which means you've got inner work to do, right? If you're dealing with someone who is not showing up for you, then you really have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, how am I not showing up for myself? How did I not show up for myself in the dynamic ship that I can't really stop thinking about, that I get pinged on, right? Intuitively, I get these pings on. I want to reconnect with it, right? In hindsight, this is not what I really wanted. I'd rather be with that or with whoever. And if that's the case, then why would Spirit put this lesson in front of you, right? The King of Swords out. Why would Spirit put this lesson in front of you? If someone was being fucking lazy and sleeping on the job, then you got to ask yourself, from a spiritual perspective, how are you being lazy and sleeping on the fucking job? That, you know, XYZ, whoever they were in your past, is no longer present, and you got tied, right? Tied to this possible family tree with someone else who is just feeling entitled as fuck. That's entitled. That is someone who wants to reap all the benefits of the hard work that you're doing, right? For the both of them, they want to reap all the benefits of it, but they don't actually want to do anything for it. They love the vision that was painted, but they don't actually want to work to maintain it or achieve it. Like, you could do all the work, I'll just receive it. And it's like, yo, that's not what we agreed to. Like, that's not the way it works. Yeah, Aries, I think you got to let somebody go. I think you got to let somebody go. Because it fucking hurts. Ten of Swords here, it hurts. You can't even picture happily ever after with this person anymore. Like, maybe you thought, you know, going into this that someone would be better, someone would be different, someone would be fill in the blank, and they are not any of the things that you thought they were. You really got to see in the mirror. You might have to admit your own faults to yourself if that's the case, right? Especially if you are reminiscing about someone from your past, or wishing you were with someone from your past, or wishing you were with someone more like someone from your past. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck did you get yourself into? Whoever you're with, they are fucking sleeping. Entitled. Are they holding, like, if this is a family tree thing, are they holding kids over you? Like, what are they holding over you that they feel like they can just reap whatever the fuck and not do shit, and you're going to keep doing it all because, you know, they've got you by the fucking balls or something, you know? Like, metaphorically speaking, I could be speaking to my Aries females, and someone might have something over you and have you by the quote unquote metaphorical, you know, balls. You're going to have to override your fear, because whatever power they're holding over you, whatever they're holding you by, that's their token, right? That's their pass out of work and production and doing their part. Like, you're going to have to get over that. You're going to have to get over that fear. Otherwise, this person is going to continue to use and abuse the shit out of you. Don't say I did not fucking warn you. For real. All right, Virgo. Virgo energy. Virgo energy. What's going on with Virgo, please? What additional messages would you like to come through, Spirit, for Virgo? Six of Stones, Nine of Arrows, Ace of Bows. Virgo, are you being fucking exploited? I think you've shown nothing but dedication to somebody. You're being fucking exploited. Someone in the family or someone you live with? Give me clarities on this. And you can't seem to walk away from it? What is going on? Someone's not fucking listening. Could be you, Virgo. Could be the person you're living with. Take it how it resonates, guys. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Bows. On top. Virgo. What have you not learned yet? And I ask you that real serious. Because if you're being exploited by somebody and you are begging for their help, begging for their energy, begging for their appreciation, if it's like pulling fucking teeth, what are you doing? And you're not moving on from it. We've got the Six of Stones with the Eight of Vessels reversed. Six of Coins, right? Eight of Cups reversed. Like when you need help, whoever you want to be there is not there and you're not getting off of it. It's like you're demanding their help and it's like, but they're not fucking helping you though. You need help. You're determined to get help from them. They're not fucking helping you and you're sticking around instead of telling them to go fuck off. Like you obviously need help. Like there's some kind of crash and burn back here. All of your honey hives, right? That golden energy, that sweetness of life is gone. You need fucking help right now. And you can't seem to walk away from whatever it is that's not giving shit to you. Nine of Arrows with the Queen of Stones. You're dedicated to somebody who loves taking from you. They love taking from you. It's a fucking nightmare. This might be a mother. If not like your mother, then the mother of your kids. Might be you as a mother and not realize that you're doing it to your partner or your family or your partner's family. So we've got the Ace of Bows with the Star card in the reverse. That is someone dead set on initiating things their way. Things have to be done their way. That's trying to control with their own masculine energy. To me, that's force. It's not healing. The Star card is healing. It's not healing. The Star is in reverse. I feel like you're trying to force things. Trying to force somebody into some kind of action, right? It's almost manipulative. It's like you're trying to force them into action, and all you're doing is lighting the family on fire, lighting the tree on fire. Someone is not listening to you. We got this dead Ten of Pentacles with the Page of Stones in reverse. They're not seizing the opportunity to listen. We've got the Page of Stones and the Ten of Arrows, and in this deck it's instruction, and they're both in reverse. Someone is not taking the opportunity to listen. They don't give a fuck what you're trying to teach them. They do not care. They don't care. Oh, you need help? Okay, so? Well, let me show you how you can help me. Let me tell you how you can help me. Let me tell you how we can make it better. They're not fucking listening. Like, they're not fucking listening. You're dealing with someone who's extremely controlling. And like I said, flip it, take it how it resonates. If you're cross-watching, I might be talking to you and your Virgo might not be fucking listening. I'm trying to tell you. It's like someone is saying, I'm trying to tell you how we can make this better. I'm trying to tell you how we can, make this work. I'm trying to tell you what I need, right? I'm trying to express my needs to you. And someone else is like, yeah, and what's your point? Well, my point is that it's important to me. Okay. It's important to you. And what's important to me is doing what I want to do. I don't care that you need help. I don't care that you're hurting. I don't care. I need what I need. And I really don't care what you need. They're not listening. It is falling on deaf, ignorant ears. Arrogant ears. This person has no intention of healing either. This might have been a relationship where there was, some kind of chemistry involved, or there was some kind of inspiration. But the fox on top, like, I feel like this person may have been a little sneaky from the beginning. Like, maybe you were easy to manipulate. Like, maybe you made it easy for them to manipulate you and take advantage of you, especially if they're money-minded or they're greedy. Or they got certain, like, children they're taking care of, and you were the fucking idiot that was just like, oh, I'll take care of you and all of your kids. Just love me. And they're just like, I don't give a fuck about you, but I'm glad you want to take care of me and my kids. Right? Like that kind of crazy, bizarre reality, Like you may have been attracted to somebody. Somebody played you for a fucking fool. And I would not be surprised if you're feeling foolish, right? Or vice versa, like I said, or vice versa. Yeah, someone doesn't fucking care. And they'll continue to take from you as long as you let them. It'll be that nightmare. That 9 of arrows, right? 9 of swords, Queen of stones. They're going to be that person who is really protective of what the fuck they're taking. And if you try and take it back from them, they're gonna be like an angry, protective mother bear, protecting what they've been taking from you. Their response is to be irrational, right? This is you're dealing with someone who is irrational. If the 10 of swords in reverse, someone who can't take instruction, you're dealing with someone irrational. You're dealing with someone irrational. How can you interact with someone and live in a world with someone who is just like, and you have needs, and I'm gonna smudge this for real. Clear that out. I hope you find your fucking metaphorical balls, Virgo. Or cross watcher, right? Because this just sounds like fucking bullshit all day to me. All fucking day. That is bullshit all day. Like, who the fuck do people think they are? That is fucking bullshit. It's like, yeah, so you have problems. So what? I got problems. My problems are more important. So until my problems are fucking handled, I don't give a fuck about your problems. And it's like, okay, but your problems never seem to go away no matter what I do. So are your problems just always going to matter and mine will never matter? Because that's about where we're at. You got someone very dominating and out of bounds. They got no fucking right to be that kind of out of bounds either. I don't feel like they got any right to be that kind of out of bounds. As far as they're concerned, they just fucking matter more than you. So they just matter more than you. Like, that's where their head's at. All right. Let me get a really good fucking shuffle. on these cards before I get into Taurus. Really? Taurian energy. Spirit, what's going on with Taurus? For the love of God, I hope it's better than fucking Aries and Virgo. What's going on with Taurus? Taurian energy. What's going on? Okay. Clarity's threes. Threes. Clarity's please. Got the Chariot out twice. Give me two more. Got 777s out here. 1s and 2s are also on the board. I've got the Devil on bottom, and I've got the 5 of bows on top. Taurus? I think someone might be using sex as a weapon. Like, if you don't do what they want, they're not going to be intimate with you or give you any. If they're not in a good mood and you didn't help them get in a good mood, they're not going to be intimate with you. You're not doing good enough. They're stressed out. They're tired. They're withholding. And when you're a good Taurus and you're doing what they want, they might throw you a random bone just to keep you in that cycle. And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, because men hold sex against women too. It could even be some bullshit where, like, well, I got off, it's not my fault, you didn't. Like, stupid shit. Hi, Amanda, how are you? Yeah, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that Devil on the bottom. The 3 of Swords was under that. I got the 5 of Bows on top. And the 5 of Bows is phallic as hell. I mean, his is literally carved into the fucking hillside. Okay, I'm not going to let the camera focus on that. Y'all get the idea. And I think someone is questioning whether or not they want to move forward, because we got the 2 of Bows, which is the 2 of Wands. That's decision with the Chariot. Someone might need to close a cycle and move on and do their own soul searching for a while, because then we get the World with the Hermit card. The Chariot comes out again with the 7 of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I feel like if you end up leaving a situation regardless of the reason. If you end up leaving a situation because you're really internally conflicted about staying, right? Someone might be making it really hard for you to want to stay. I think if you ultimately decide to leave a situation and you make that decision to close it and go your own way, you might be paranoid. You might be paranoid moving forward and feeling like people are lying to you or gaslighting you or using you or manipulating you or playing mind games with you. And maybe they're not, but you're not willing to start a new foundation with anybody because you haven't been out of that past cycle long enough yet, which means you are not relationship ready, right? You've got to respect other people who may be relationship ready and you are not, because you're still healing things, and not drag someone else through the bullshit, right? You're healing. Just allow yourself time to heal, right? Don't pull somebody into your healing process and hurt them while you're still, wounded, right? Don't bleed all over someone that didn't cut you, because we get the Judgment card and the Page of Bows, and the Page of Bows is in reverse, which is the reinvention of the self card, right? Phoenix rising from the ashes card, and that card's reversed. So, I think you've made this judgment call, like you're not ready to change yet. You're not coming back stronger yet. Like you're still potentially in that kind of death before regenerating phase, Just be aware of that, Taurus, because the Devil on the bottom with the Three of Swords, like you really don't want to take your pain moving with you. If you're confused, like please don't pick somebody up while you're still confused and you're still holding on to the past, or, whatever the case may be. Like make sure that you close out past cycles with Lovers completely and regain your sense of sovereignty, right, before you go Wheel of Fortuning something else in, right? You have to be able to make that judgment call that you've healed and learned that Chiron type wisdom, that lesson from whatever it was that you were previously in. Okay, you have to get clear on what it is your heart wants and trust yourself, like trust yourself in the decisions you're making moving into things with people. So if you're leaving a situation, please do not jump into a new one, like, because you're probably going to hurt the wrong person. Like if you're not ready, you're not ready, and that's okay. Just don't bleed all over people who didn't cut you. All right, Taurus. If you were dealing with someone who was, playing fucking games with you, then you need to heal that, right? Why you ignored certain red flags, or that you weren't educated and experienced enough and you never experienced it before, right? This was your first time experiencing it. You were naive. Like now that you know better and you're not unfamiliar, can you trust yourself catching it, moving into a new relationship and letting it go early, as opposed to, being naive and not realizing that someone was holding certain things over you to try and shift who you are and your behavior, right? To get what they wanted, to get their needs met without necessarily meeting yours, Like, can you acknowledge the red flags that kind of led up to where you ended up, so that when those red flags come back up in the future, they're not just red flags, they're hard lines and healthy boundaries. Can you accept that you've learned from experience and have grown and aren't paranoid that it's happening with new people, unless you start to see similar patterns, so that you're not hurting people that have no intention of hurting you, All right. Pisces. Pisces. Spirit, please. What's going on with the fishes? What's going on with Piscean energy? Bonus reading for December. What is going on with Pisces? That's interesting. All right. Nine of Cups on bottom. Four of Pentacles on top. All right. Pisces. I think you're holding on to something, and at some point you're going to need to take a leap of faith on wish fulfillment, coming from some kind of Queen of Cups type vibration. Someone who has tamed their demons or has control over their snakes. Someone who has really strong will. You might be a little conflicted about going through the healing, but I think it is a 10 of Cups. Now, when I was talking about what's going on with the fishes, right? The King of Arrows came out first, and that's the Kingfisher. And right after it is the Queen of Vessels, and it's the salmon. And it literally looks like the Kingfisher is going after the salmon, right? Literally came out like that. You might be dealing with Pisces, Gemini squares, whether it's in your own chart or someone you're dealing with, right? If you have Piscean energy in yours and they have Gemini in theirs and vice versa. You may also be dealing with Aryan energy, and I've got the Emperor in reverse here. So significant Aries placements that may be challenged, or a retrograde in Aries. I feel like I think your head is saying one thing and your heart is saying another. With the Emperor in the reverse, I think you're going with your head, but I think it's the wrong decision. The King of Arrows came out with the Emperor in reverse, where the Queen of Vessels came out with the Page of Pentacles. That's the seed. That's the creation of opportunity. After that, we have the Two of Arrows, which is the Two of Swords. It's injustice in this deck, clarified by the Star card. I think someone is having a hard time choosing to heal. Money might be more important right now. Piscean energy, the Hanged Man, is in reverse, and it comes out with the Three of Wands, which in this particular deck is vampiric, with the Four of Swords and the Temperance energy. Thanks, Lorraine. How you doing? Yeah, Pisces, I think if you have some really strong Gemini energy in your chart, or strong even Aquarian energy in your chart, Libra energy too, for that matter, I think your air energy is really interfering with your intuitive energy. I think you're trying to do the right thing that makes sense, but it's literally going against your intuition. And it's stalling, right? It's blocking out some kind of healing. It's keeping you blind to some kind of healing. I think you're making a logical choice. It's a realistic choice. Like, no one would blame you for making that choice, but your soul's not having it. You actually might be having dreams about what you really need to do. Where your heart lies might be really coming up and triggering feelings from your dreams. Nice. Nice, Lorraine. Yeah. I feel like I think if you're having dreams, Pisces, I think that you should wake up and use your discernment. I think you should use your discernment in regards to the dreams. Because like, for example, you could be dreaming that someone is the devil, right? That they're evil in the dream. They're horrible. They're this, they're that in the dream. But when you wake up, if you feel like that's off and you know that's not true, like, your dreams are prompting you to remember, you know what I mean? Like, who people really are. If you have a dream that someone is awful and you're like, oh my God, and it resonates as truth with you, it actually resonates as truth with you when you wake up and you know some shady shit is going on or something, like, you got to listen to your dreams. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be paying attention to how your dreams are making you feel. What's the feeling that comes up? Because if you've got someone coming to you in your dreams and you're not sure why, like, maybe you shouldn't be denying the fact that there's a connection there. You know what I mean? Because I don't like your card being in the reverse. You know, we've got Temperance out here, but Sag also squares your sign. You know, this is the mutable energy squares. And if we're talking, because it's Sag season right now, right? December, and we've got Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. And to be fair, Neptune in Pisces can be fucking atrocious. Okay? It really can. Because for as much faith as it can bring and as much spiritual connection that it brings, it equally brings delusion and fantasy and fucking la la land and escapism and avoiding spiritual connection, right? And it ultimately comes down to choice. Which way are you going to go, right? The two fishes. Are you going to align yourself with spirit, or are you going to align yourself with fucking la la land? And based off of that choice is what you get, because one shuts off the other. Because you can't have both, right? Just like fear and love cannot exist in the same space, neither can the truth, right? Spiritual truth and fucking la-la, like delusion, right? Like la-la land delusion. This is if you want to get stuck in Delulu world, well, you know, then you're not in alignment with truth. And that's the thing about Sagittarian energy. Like, Sagittarian energy sees the actual goal, sees the outcome. They don't necessarily know how to get there, but they see the outcome. So the truth of the manifestation, the truth of the vision that is Sagittarius, right? If that is conflicting with Piscean energy and squaring Piscean energy, you might get lost in the fantasy of a long-term goal that's not actually attainable because you're not in alignment with your spirit. Right? That could be you fantasizing, right? Piscean fantasies, fantasizing about some happily ever after with a fucking narcissist. You know what I mean? Like someone who's extremely controlling or greedy or whatever. You're like, oh, they'll change one day and we'll live happily ever after and we'll start a band. Like, going to start a band with that motherfucker, Pisces. You know what I mean? Like, you might be able to hold the vision, but it's delusional, right? And it really depends on your choice of energy and if you're listening to your intuition or not. Like, oh yeah, we're going to be a happy family. Everything is going to be great and da-da-da-da-da. And there'll be this and there'll be that. And then the reality is not that. It's just like, you know, how far down the fucking rabbit hole, right, do you want to go? Yeah, I think you're doing what makes sense. I think you're doing what is logical, but that's not your forte, Pisces. I think you really need to listen to your intuition, and, you know, it'd be like, you know, if someone needs you, that's great. You know, if that's what you want, they need you, that's great. Then they'll always be around. But the reality is, if they need you, if they didn't need you, would they stay though? Are you wanted? Are you loved? Or are you just needed? Well, they need me. They'll never leave me. They need me. It's happily ever after. No, it's not, though, because if they didn't need you, they'd leave, right? They need you. They don't have any choice but to stay with you because they need you. Like, is that really love, though? You know, like, we've been having conversations like this here on the channel recently. And I think that being needed and being wanted are two very different things, and you've got to decide what feels good for you. Because I would hate to be in that position, personally. I would hate for someone to need me and not know if they really wanted me or not, or if they were just with me because they needed me. So that sucks. If you're with me because you need me, but you don't really want me, then just fucking go. Oh, you won't go because you need me. Great. Now I'm fucking stuck with somebody, taking care of somebody, and I have no other choice but to take care of them unless I just straight up, you know, quote unquote, be the villain, be the asshole, and put them out, you know, needing something that now somebody else has to fill because, you know, I abandoned them and whatever. When in the mirror of things, they abandon their dang selves, you know, like this game we play with society and what's acceptable and what's not. I think that you kind of really just have to listen to your heart space, and it doesn't matter whether other people think it's acceptable or not. Logical, that's not your forte. Doing the right thing, like Pisces, it's not, that's Virgo's energy. It's not your forte, right? Pisces has this crazy ability to like get out of jail free card shit. Like, where Virgo has to take the fucking steps, has to, step by step, can't skip a fucking step in order to heal. Pisces has this magical ability to, like, get out of jail free. So you can't get stuck in logical, or this is reasonable, you know, or this is what I have to do. This is the order of things. This is my obligation. No, like, Pisces, you are the get out of jail free card. You call in spirit and say, I need a fucking miracle. And spirit's like, all right. Choose what's in your highest good, Pisces. Listen to your intuition, and magic, it works out. like Pisces has that ability, and they don't fucking use it. Not nearly as much as they should. They'd rather go down to some delulu hole, right? So Pisces, I hope that helps, because you've got the ability to get out of something. And it turned out way better than you might have originally thought it could, should, would. Whatever door needs to open will open. I think you just gotta let it happen. Like I said, you can't be letting logic and reason kind of steer the ship on that one. All right. Saggies. What's up, my Sag gang? What's up, my Sag gang? The best for last, right? All right. Spirit, what is going on with Sag? What is going on with Sag for December? Happy birthday to all my December Saggies. What is going on? What additional messages would you like to come through for Sag? What do they need to know? What's going on with Sag? Okay. What else? What else? Clarities, please. Give me two more. Got 999s and 888s. Give me one more. Fine, two more. Triple nines and 888s. Two 10s and a hanged man. Got the King of Pentacles on bottom and the Devil on top, which is the Guardian in this deck. All right, Sag. Sag, I feel like you've actually got a lot going on. I think you know you're manifesting. I think you know you're taking steps towards the 10 of Cups. But I still think you're mourning a soulmate. Ace of Wands, 10 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, King of Wands. You might literally feel like you got robbed. Like in the middle of the night, robbed. But it was like the ruling was made and the cycle closed. I think you're having a difficult time accepting that it's closed. Because the ideal is not the real. And this person, I think that they were your happy place. They were your light. Like they were your significant other. And you might have pictured happiness with them for such a long time that once that door shut and the judgment call was made, the ruling was made, right? Whether it was just or unjust, fair or unfair, the ruling was made, right? Spirit made that call and it closed out a cycle. And I think you might be having a difficult time reestablishing a new vision of what the Ten of Cups is. I think you're looking out, you know, I think you've reached some kind of moment where you're out of the cave. But with the Guardian who's also standing in front of the cave, right? It's almost like you don't know if you should leave the cave's opening just in case they follow you out of it, right? Just in case the Hermit, right, is following behind you. It's like not wanting to leave the mouth of the cave and venture away from it just in case they're following. So Spirit is asking you to find your strength and see things from a different perspective. There's a spiritual order to what is going on. Like Spirit's giving me this visual, like maybe the ruling was made, right? And you and a person disconnected, right? Romantic partner or otherwise. You and a certain individual parted ways. And that was final, right? That was the judgment call. They went down this path. You went down a different path, right? And now you've come to the end of your path and you're seeing the light of day, right? You're out of the cave. You're seeing the light of day. And you're wondering if they're going to turn around, you know what I mean? If they're going to turn around and follow you and catch up with you. But the ruling was the ruling. So if you stay stuck at the mouth of that cave and don't leave, Spirit's like, well, what if they're set to come out of a different cave and you're supposed to meet up at some point later, maybe at the top of the mountain? How will you get there if you don't leave the mouth of the cave, right? If you don't actually let yourself start climbing, like you can't stay there. Spirit is asking you to please find your strength and see things from a different perspective. The 8 of Wands with the Strength card and the Hanged Man. Like, get fucking pumped. You know what I mean? Like, get fucking pumped. It's like beating that fucking war drum on your heart, like, and get fucking pumped to move forward. Like, the ruling was made. It's always going to be in your favor. It might not seem just, but it's always fair in the eyes of the divine. Like, get fucking pumped because you're on a path that is in your highest good, and anything that would keep you from it was ruled out. Anything that is meant for you is going to come back at the right time. So, like, get your fucking heart going. You know what I mean? Like, really look at it from a different perspective. We got the 9 of Bows with the 9 of Swords and the Knight of Arrows. That's the 9 of Wands with the 9 of Swords and the Knight of Swords. The 9 of Bows, the word on the bottom here is respect. Like, respect the fact that you have anxiety about it, but really see things the way that Spirit would want you to see things. Like, you're not wounded. You didn't actually take a loss. It's like you walked out of the courtroom with your freedom. What loss did you take? You walked out with your freedom. You found the light at the end of the tunnel. I think you're moving forward, right? Now that you're out of this cave, I think you're moving forward. I think you still have nightmares about being in the cave, what it was like to be trapped inside that. And maybe you've got to talk about it. Maybe you've got to talk about it with the Knight of Swords. Maybe people will help you see things from a different perspective if you're feeling yourself a bit stuck. Because the King of Arrows with the 8 of Pentacles, the Tower and the 10 of Arrows, like Spirit needs you to see that you have some kind of effort to put in, and you kind of got blasted with the Tower because you need instruction. You're learning how to shoot, right? The figure here is literally learning how to shoot the arrow and hit the target. They're getting instruction. Right? You're Sag, you're the archer, you're learning how to shoot and hit the target. It requires effort. It requires higher perspective. It requires you to be detached from whatever you are involved in. If your emotions got involved, or your judgment was clouded because of it, like Spirit needs you to learn how to stay detached so that you can hit the mark. To not get ahead of yourself, right? Sag can't get ahead of themselves. They see the vision, they see the goal, they see the outcome, right? But then they don't know how to get there. And so they literally get ahead of themselves instead of just going step by step. And so Spirit is literally asking you to learn how to breathe. You know what I mean? If the archer, you pull it back and you look at the target, right? Archers take a deep breath before they release. And you kind of have to do that. It's like you're learning how to fucking shoot. You're learning how to look at the target. You're learning how to draw it back and breathe before you let it go. Before you take your shot, right? You're learning how to breathe first so that you don't miss the mark. Because what happens is if you don't stop to breathe and you're tight and you go to fire, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it. You have to relax your whole body into the ground and kind of anchor yourself, because if you try and do any kind of breath work while you're releasing, inhaling, exhaling, whatever, it's going to move. You have to exhale, let it all out, anchor, and then release, right? Relaxing the fingers and just letting it go. Just relaxing the grip, right? When you shoot, you literally have to just relax the fingers enough so that the arrow can be released. You just relax your grip, right? Stop. Don't try and hold on to it, right? And make the vision now because you've gotten ahead of yourself. Hold on the vision. Look at the target. Take a deep fucking breath and relax, right? Relax the grip. Spirit's teaching you how to fucking shoot so that you're not holding on so tightly, right? So that you're not missing the mark, so that you actually hit the target. So yeah, if something didn't work out before and now you don't know what your happiness is, that's fine. Spirit's in the process of teaching you how to fucking shoot. Because if you start to visualize something and you lock in on a goal and you're not learned yet on how to hit that target, you're going to miss it and have to start over, right? So don't be hard on yourself if you're still, remembering nightmares of being in the cave when the judgment was made and the ruling was what it was and you went on this dark path by yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn from them. It's really good to learn from them, and then you don't make them again. And it's fine, right? No hard feelings. We're all here helping each other in soul, some which way, shape, or form. So, learn how to breathe, Sag. Learn how to let go. Learn how to release your grip on it and see where that takes you, right? See where it takes you to be more relaxed and easygoing when it comes to what you're visualizing and manifesting, so that you don't get ahead of yourself. Just kind of let it be and live in the moment, right? Which is the polarity, your Gemini and polarity's forte, living in the moment, right? living in the moment. Gemini can't necessarily see the long-term future the way that Sag can. They can't see how their actions are adding up to a result as easily as Sag can, right? Sag can see the result and not necessarily know the steps on how to get there. Gemini sees the steps they're taking, but has no clue what the fuck the outcome's going to be. They don't have that kind of foresight. And so, you know, they're living in the moment for the moment, but they don't understand why. And the lessons are hard, right? If you're dealing with Sag and Gem integrations. So, with that, that wraps up all of the bonus content. I appreciate everybody who dropped a like and left me comments, both in the live chat and anybody who leaves me comments in the replay. You guys are awesome. So much love and support to all of you. I will be live for the 12/12 new moon in Sagittarius portal energy. We've got secret code names then. And I will also be doing some really cool stuff closer to the holiday, like Yule. So you guys will see me again. You'll see me again. I love you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day until next we meet. Bye, everyone.